Hello, Warriors. Today I'm going to do a quick overview of SIRS Knowledge Source, which is a great database for argument essays and controversial issues. We're going to start with our Resources for Argument Essays resource sheet and go to the link here in the table next to SIRS Knowledge Source. Follow this link. Once you get to this web page, you're going to scroll down just a little bit and click the green Go to Website button. From here, you need a library card number and PIN. You can use your own personal one. If you don't have one yourself, there is a library card number and PIN included in the table next to the SIRS Knowledge Source link. Once you get those entered, you can hit Submit. It's a great place to start because of the way they lay out the different arguments. So I really like that it starts with trending topics and editor's picks. These are going to be a lot of the issues that come up more often right now, whether they're in the news or just more controversial. And I think, sometimes these same things are what's on our students' minds when they think about their argument essay. So if one of yours is something up here, you can click on any of those to get started. There's also different categories down here if you have a little more choice in your topics, and you can go to a whole topic list. So there's a bunch of different ones. About the issue I'm going to do today is educational tests and measurements. So I really like that it starts out with a quick summary of what the issue is, and you can click Read Full Summary just to get a couple of paragraphs. And then as you scroll down, you get a focus question and then two opposing viewpoints. So for example, this one, are standardized tests the best way to measure how well school is doing? And viewpoint 1 is standardized testing is the best way to evaluate how much a student has learned. Viewpoint 2 is going to take the opposite side. Too much emphasis is put on the tests that are unfair to many students. Below each viewpoint are 3 articles that support that side. So if those two sides are the ones that I want to take for my argument essay, I can look at the articles below and have a really solid start on what sources I need to make my arguments. However, you are not required to do it that way. You can click here to find more sources on that topic. And as you can see, I have over 1,500 results. So there are tons of things for me to look through. I always like to narrow my sources down by type. For this assignment, if you're working on an argument essay, I highly recommend that you do newspapers and magazines. My reasoning for that is those are generally going to be pretty readable. They're written for a wider audience than if you were going to do a government source or a scholarly journal or something like that. So I'm just going to click on newspapers, and I can look over the title, the author's name, the publication name, the date it was published. So obviously I want to look for things that are going to be more recent. And it totally depends on your topic how recent it needs to be. For example, if you are doing something about vaccines have changed so much just in the last couple years that choosing a source that's much older, even 5 years old, might not be as helpful for your argument as one that's published in 2021. Okay, so here is, I like this one. It's published in USA Today. That's a publication I've heard of. It was published less than a year ago. And so I can click this article. At the top, there's a quick summary. And then the article follows. So I would skim this, and if I see a fact or two that I really like that I think might help with my argument, that's worth saving. So up here on the right, there's a Save to Cloud button, and I can choose Google Drive. Now I'm already logged into Google on my computer, so my computer already knows that I'm a Google user, and I've already been logged in on this database also. So I just want to show you what it looks like when I go to my drive. I can click Recent, And that article is going to come right to the top. And what's great is this is a Google document. So I can, for example, find a note that I want to use. For example, maybe that one. And I can then choose to highlight. And that way I can remember, okay, this is something that jumped out at me. And then when I go back to dig into my articles a little more and really break down some of those quotes and how I want to use them in my paper, that highlighting is going to catch my eye. Let's see. So that is the whole article. The citation is not included on this article though. So before I close out of the database or really move on, I'm going to want to grab the citation. So underneath Save to Cloud, where we chose to send it to our Google Drive, there's also a cite button. And this pulls together a great citation for me. So here's what I can do. I'm going to go back to the document and open up Noodle Tools, which is the link right there. Then I'm going to make sure to get logged in to Noodle Tools before I do much else. So I'm going to sign in with Google, which is an option down here. I'm going to choose my school account, and it's going to do a quick check of the information about me, and it's important to make sure your school location's updated. It might also ask for your graduation year, and then you're going to click Save Profile. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is start a new project, and I'll probably call it Argument Essay. Maybe I want to do my topic, educational testing. I'm going to choose MLA style, and then junior is a perfectly acceptable citation level for this assignment, and then I'm going to hit submit. So I have my project here. Now I'm going to go back to the database where I've clicked Cite, and let me remind you where that was. In this green square at the top under Save to Cloud, there's a button that says Cite, and then I can click Send to Noodle Tools. So it has copied the text of the citation into this box here. It's worth looking at. For example, my author's name is properly capitalized. My title is properly capitalized. That kind of thing matters. USA Today is in all caps. That's how the publication lists its name. So a different publication that doesn't put their name in all caps, I might fix that, but that is correct for this publication. So there's two options. These references look good and I won't need to edit them, and that's true for me. I'm going to go here and make sure I have the right project, and then I'm going to click Import References. And then I can go back to the database. I can click back to go back to my results list. I'm still limited to newspapers. Now let's say I've perused these 794 newspaper articles and I decide I want to go back and look at magazines. I can just X out of that newspaper source and choose magazine instead and continue my search. So that is just a quick overview on how to use SIRS Issues Researcher.